believing in yourself. So with that foundation, you also have the opportunity for these booming, beautiful flowers. Now, the flowers may come in the form of your education, check. A certification, check, check. Maybe entrepreneurship, check, check, check. But with all of that positivity, all these things growing, all of the beautiful blooms, you have to be careful, because the weeds may come up and choke out your blooms. The weeds of entitlement, the weeds of greed, and more than anything, the weeds of tragedy. So an example, my husband and I, we were living our best life. Just got married, we had the education, had our entrepreneurship. Even failing businesses are great, you have to learn. So we had our entrepreneurship, and then we were blessed with my son. We're blessed with my son, a little bit nervous, but it's all good. But you have to be careful of those weeds, because the weed of tragedy tried to choke the life out of us. My son, yeah, my son died. The weed of tragedy tried to choke the life out of us, because my son, yeah, he died.
Tragedy. The adversities of life. You're living your best life, and then, bam, it hits you. Tragedy is defined as distress, destruction, and suffering. As I define that word, you can literally begin to feel some of the emotions that are associated with tragedy. Tragedy can come in so many forms. It can come in the form of loss of a job, loss of a house, or as Rachel said, loss of a loved one, death, and all the emotions that are associated with death, grief. For me, tragedy came in a different way. As she said, living the dream, the house, the car, the kid, the dog. And then me and my spouse didn't get along anymore. Divorce. Divorce is a monster of its own, you know. It's encompassed with so many emotions. There's anger, there's pain, and there's grief. It literally feels like somebody died. Then no matter what that person may have done or may not have done, they could have abused you physically, emotionally. They could have cheated. You could have cheated. But there'll still be some feelings of abandonment felt. And the worst monster of them all, isolation. You withdraw because you're embarrassed, you're depressed, and really you're confused because you really can't figure out how in the world this is happening in your life. I felt those feelings, guys, and I owned them. But the thing is, I had to make a choice to get up and to move forward. Sometimes I made that choice daily. The challenges in life we have, they're not meant to break us or to destroy us. They're for growth. They help give us character, and they help us to become who we're supposed to be. So no matter how much sorrow you may experience or how much grief, the negative experiences you have in life may affect you in some ways forever, but they do not define you, and they do not define your future. It's up to you. How do you choose to look at things? It's kind of like when you go to the eye doctor and they ask you, is one or two better? One is usually really, really blurry. And then they flip that lens, and then you can see so crystal clear. Life is just the exact same way. Will you look at life and the things that happen to you out of the eyes of a blurry lens of resentment, hate, pointing the finger and pointing blame? Or will you change the lens, and will you choose to take every single thing that happens to you and accept that it's a part of a masterpiece that's being created in your life? It's up to you. Only you can change the lens. There is life after adversity, and there is certainly life after death.
Anger. She says there's life after death. Anger. So I was talking to my mom one day after we had lost my son, and I was telling her, like, Mom, all day today I've just cried and I've been so angry. I've rolled on the floor. I've broken stuff. I've kicked stuff. I've punched stuff. I've been so angry. I can't seem to move out of this. Can we all agree that growth usually comes in the most uncomfortable situations? So I'm talking to my mom and I'm telling her how angry I am and everything I'm feeling, and she says this: Rachel, it's okay for you to cry. It's okay for you to roll, for you to kick, for you to scream, but you can't stay there. You have to get up. You can't stay there. So that's where the grace comes in. That's where accepting the healing came in. Saying, I'm going to decide to change my lens, to change the anger, to change the frustration, and say, we know better than anyone else that no day is promised. We know better than anyone else that minute to minute, second to second, it is not promised. So we no longer want to survive. We wanted to thrive. We wanted to live our best life. So we made the choice. We are going to change our lens on that day. And there would be times we would still get on the floor, we would still roll and kick and scream and be angry, but we wouldn't stay there. We accepted grace. We took the healing. And as difficult as it was, I say we've grown. We now are able to look at my two beautiful daughters who've been talking in the crowd, if you haven't heard them. We love those too. So we decided to change the lens and accept our grace and thrive in our healing.
Sometimes when we're going through that tragedy, we want to pick stuff up and just break it, right? Sometimes we may not. But how many of you, if I broke this glass or you broke this glass at home, would just kind of clean it up and pick it up and throw it in the trash? Pretty much everybody, right? We would clean it up. Well, there's a beautiful art that the Japanese culture have. It's called kintsugi, the art of precious scars. And the way that they look at things is, if a piece of pottery is broken, they take it and they put it back together again. And then they use gold to enhance those scars. I think that's a pretty important lesson for us in life. We're all going to be beaten, battered, bruised at some time in life. But if we take the healing that's offered to us and we accept it, then that brokenness becomes a part of us. And it makes us so much beautiful than we were once before. We now have wisdom, experience, and things that just make us a better person. So if we accept that healing, we get to practice the art of kintsugi, and we can celebrate our scars.
Y'all see my gold shoes? They real bright and sparkly. That's the gold part. Necklace, that's the gold part. of kintsugi. All the broken pieces in life, all the ups, the downs, the curves, whatever it was, the gold reminds us how beautiful we still are. What a beautiful masterpiece that's being created. So for us to be able to thrive, we had to move and find out, what are the things that make me me? What are my passions? What excites me? What moves me? What makes me want to wake up? Needless to say, my kids, my husband, my family, of course, a little shopping. But whatever it is, you have to find for you. What is going to help you thrive? What is going to move you from where you're at to your next level? What is going to help you level up? So for us, we found our passion and our purpose in creating a nonprofit that mentors young girls and helps young girls know what you're going through. Baby, we've been through that too. And we're not going to tell you that the road is easy, but we're going to be living examples for you that you will get through it, that there is joy on the other side, and that if you stay the course, you will too be able to thrive. So we saw young girls from last year to this year completely transform their lives. Young girls who were in regular classes and failing are now in AP classes making 90s. So whatever your purpose, whatever your passion, just know the choice is yours. Will you take the tragedies that come, the ups, the downs, even the great things, and make sure that you change your lens to see the beautiful masterpiece that is being created? You were put here for a purpose that's so much more than what we think. Take all the broken pieces and see exactly how beautiful they are.
So everything's just a little bit better with glitter, right, ladies? We like a little sparkle, a little glitter. So in our masterpiece, we put glitter because for us, it just really emphasizes the natural occurrences in life. Like when you watch a sunrise or a sunset, or when you stand on a mountain peak and you look down at the valley and everything that's been created and you just are in awe. Those things help us to take a step back and appreciate the small things and just be grateful. So here we have our masterpiece, and the masterpiece has been completed. So here's the proposal. Life comes with ups and downs, highs and lows, good times, bad times. We don't get to choose which ones we get and how much of it we get. But what we can choose is how we choose to look at it. Will you flip the lens? How will you look at the adversities that come in your life?
So I want you to think, I like to paint a picture. So you're thinking, if you worked out and you're trying to lift weight, but I want you to imagine you're lifting something that's 120 pounds. So you're lifting and you're using all your energy to try to hold it, and it's heavy. You feel like you're going to drop it. You feel like you can't hold it any longer. You should be feeling it right now. So you're trying to hold it, and then you're able